I'm so excited to have you. Thank you for coming back. If you haven't seen, we did a Jump Festa episode with Bandai Namco before winter break, so back in the end of 2015,
like end of December, I think.
with kind of news on upcoming games. But there's some super upcoming games that you guys want to talk about a little bit. Some really close release dates.
Yes, around the corner.
Yes. So the first one being Digimon.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is coming out on the 2nd, PlayStation 4 and Vita.
Yay, a reason to use your Vita.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I haven't had a chance to play on the Vita yet, but I'm like 26 hours in on the PS4, and I've been really enjoying it. It's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of hatching. It's a lot of fun.
Is it crossplay?
I don't believe it's cross-play, but there's cross-save.
All right, cool.
So
nice.
once I get the Vita version, it's all on the Vita.
Nice. And then the next release date is which one? Project?
It's actually Naruto.
Naruto's
Naruto
next
Shippuden
on
Ultimate Ninja Storm 4,
Ultimate
which is on the
Ninja
9th.
Storm 4 on the 9th.
And it's it's more Naruto. It expands story from pretty much until the end of the war, and I think 100 plus characters.
Is that all?
Yeah. You got-
Just 100
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah, and so we got to see a little bit of Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, and it's really pretty. It's really
yes.
gorgeous. We'll have a gameplay clip up on IGN, and we'll also link to that.
Yes.
We did Rock Lee versus Gaara feelings.
And we dragged Vincent Nito
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it because he's the ultimate person
He's
when it
the
comes to fighting
ultimate,
games.
ultimate Ninja Storm person.
I don't know. I didn't do too bad at the end.
Oh no!
But yeah, the fight did not take 3 episodes this time.
It's a little faster.
Hey.
Yeah.
So it's really, really coming along really nicely, and I liked just how the characters kind of looked, their models looked, and their fight styles, and every like finishing move is super, super cool.
Oh yes.
So
Yeah.
definitely check out that gameplay clip. Anything else you guys want to touch on with that?
I mean, CyberConnect just continues to really impress me, and like how like when the first one came out on PlayStation 3, like I was like, this is like next level like anime fighting games. Like it looks like I'm watching the anime itself.
Yeah.
And I was like, when it goes to PS4, I'm hard pressed to see like what else they can do to make this game look better. And I mean, it's really a leap forward in like how much particles are on screen, like the vibrant colors, the movement of all the characters, and especially like all the extra features that they've added, like being able to swap between each of your 3 players rather than just having like one lead. It really adds a new dynamic to the fighting experience that's Ninja Storm.
I like that. It did add a dynamic, and it also made things a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and as Steve was saying before, especially in story mode, you're going to see during those kind of QTE battles, you're going to see so many particles. It's mind blowing. You can take a screenshot and stare at it for days. It's really good.
Yeah, the animation is great. It's over the top completely, which is exactly what you want in a Naruto game. So
Exactly, yeah.
perfect.
And then we also got to see Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. I'm going to let Megan talk about that because Megan knows quite a bit about Sword Art Online.
I do know
around
quite
here.
a bit about Sword Art Online. The first thing I want to say is how pretty the game looks.
yes.
Like I was very impressed with the graphics and the scope of the game.
It definitely has a, like you said earlier, a Xenoblade kind of feel when you kind of scale back and see the landscape. It looks really nice.
Yeah, and it definitely seems to echo some MMO-esque things, which is perfect because,
yes.
hey, it's Sword Art Online. Hey. So, yeah, I wanted you to talk a little bit about the gameplay and also the story, sort of how it's incorporated into the original Sword Art Online story, because you mentioned something I think is very interesting about that it's its own, sort of its own separate story. It's its own original story. So if you could talk a little bit about that, that would be cool.
Sure. So essentially, to kind of go back on that, you said the graphics, I can agree. It's actually the first game that was built on the PS4, so hence it looking a lot better.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Not to say the other games didn't look bad. No, they all look fantastic.
Yeah, but when something's native to, a
yeah,
console, it makes a huge difference.
So yeah, essentially, Kirito is pulled back into the world of, I'm going to butcher the name, Steven, if you could help me. Ironcard, thank you. He's pulled back into the world. We were not sure why. You see a mysterious girl kind of, I guess, possibly pulling the strings, and from there you kind of pushed on your journey. So we're just kind of figuring out why he's come back to this world, who is this girl, and essentially go from there. You do see old characters like Asuma and the other ones that we showed. I don't want to butcher those names. But yeah, and then it has that very fluid kind of gameplay as we showed before, where you can be put into this world, you can find monsters, there's just quests you can pick up on the map. Usually, at least with this build that we had, at the very end of it, you fight this giant boss. You can see who's targeting. It has multiple health meters, and it just you can chain combos, and as I showed you, and it's just I feel a lot more fluid, and it's kind of it's just fun to play.
And I noticed that you can swap characters in and out too. So you hit a button and Kirito will drop back, and one of the characters will jump in, do their combo, and then you swap back in.
Yeah, you can dash back in, continue your combo. You can encourage your teammates, they can encourage you. You can focus on healing. Like, if you happen to stun a monster, at that point you can direct everyone to essentially just full on attack this person. So there's a lot of customization, and I'm sure there's more to come as we get more news.
Yeah, one of the things you said when we were checking out the game earlier is that you can rely on your teammates more. And I liked that aspect. That's one of the things that anime does a lot, is like nakama and team. So I like that the gameplay kind of reflects that. So
I'm looking forward to seeing what other characters come about. I have my favorites. Cough, cough.
I thought you were literally coughing. I was like, Megan's dying.
It's all in the acting. So looking forward to more news about that. And what else do we have?
We saw One Piece Burning Blood. Yay,
yes,
One Piece! Yay, One Piece. So Steven, I'll let you kind of lead on that one because you got to show off some super cool gameplay with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, One Piece Burning Blood's coming along really, really well. Like, I mean, you guys saw, like, the color palette for it, like, the destructible environments, like, how kind of larger than life all the moves were for all of the different characters.
Which is so appropriate for One Piece. Like, that is what One Piece is about.
And then also, like I was saying before, the dialogue between the characters, like, where the characters that you select are going to... when they have their meetup text or their meetup vocals to each other, they're going to actually interact with each other. So there's a lot of work that we put into to make sure that, this game really emotes that feeling that, fans of One Piece really have, where it's like, you're so attached to these characters after the series has been going on for so long. So, it's kind of a really great opportunity for us to be able to kind of take this world and then really kind of cater it to the fan base.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it has a lot of good fan service in it, and I noticed like all the animations. I mean, not that the other games didn't do this, but you can definitely tell like the way Zoro holds the sword in his mouth, and other characters, like the way they walk and the way they fight.
We got so into it, we were like, don't hurt Zoro!
Don't hurt his pretty face.
Don't ruin his face, he's so wonderful. And I again, going back to Nakama, that's another big thing in One Piece, is the interaction between characters changing depending on what your team is really, really smart. And so I like that integration. And it's One Piece. One Piece! Really, really big animations, definitely larger than life. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
So scaling back or winding back a little bit, it is a 3-on-3 fighting game style thing. In case you were wondering, because there's been like One Piece Muso games and stuff like that. It looks like it's coming along super nicely.
And I think like one of the really cool things is that, it's that real time being able to activate your devil fruit abilities or your hockey, and how you have to kind of watch the other character to see what they're doing, and if they're actually powering up their devil fruit, then if you want to be attacking them, you need to actually activate your hockey as well. So it's using those concepts from the series in the actual game itself. So you're kind of actualizing those moves on your own side.
Right, it adds a dimension of strategy to it.
Yep.
And then did you say what arcs does it go through?
We haven't discussed exactly the story yet, but there is a really great story that goes along with it too.
Is it original? Can you say?
It's not an original story. It actually follows.
It
follows part of the true story. There's a couple hints that we've actually dropped based on like some of the things that we've released, but I'll leave it to the fans to.
Yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
spoil anything.
Don't spoil,
I'm
but-
asking because for One Piece, since there's so many episodes, I kind of like playing One Piece games and getting the highlights because it's a refresher for episodes I have watched way back when, and it also helps me kind of catch up when I don't have time to catch up on the actual episodes. So that's why I was curious. And
What's the latest episode? What number are we now on?
we're in the deep 700s.
Yes, I watched like 752 maybe.
Yeah, we're really getting up there. Oh, One Piece.
Nowhere close to done either. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One Piece is eternal. So yeah, that's why I was asking, and I'm sure people will be excited to see kind of where that story is going. Yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about?
We actually today we just released the demo for Project Cross Zone 2 on Nintendo 3DS eShop. It's really cool because I have very little time to actually play a lot of video games just because work is super busy.
Yeah.
But so when it comes to demos, I'm usually I'll just wait until play the full game. I don't want to do a bunch of progress on this and then have it feel like it was for naught. But the demo, you can actually go through every time you beat it for up to 10 times. You're going to earn different items that you can actually use in the full game. So, for people that played the first game and they were just oh, the game was a little bit, the battles were really long and I want to make sure that, what I'm getting into is kind of a little bit more clear and concise. This demo will actually kind of wash away a lot of those maybe worries on that side. It's really... there's so many changes that have gone into Project Cross Zone 2 that you really need to play the demo to experience how rather than you do a move, enemy does a move, you do a move, enemy does a move. It's in rounds, so you get to move all of your pieces at the same time, which is a little bit more familiar for people who play a lot of tactical strategy RPGs. But yeah, so definitely check out the demo on the eShop.
Exciting.
And then the full game comes out on February 16th.
February 16th.
February
So
16th.
there's a lot of upcoming stuff, and then some of the others we don't have release dates yet for yet. Typo IRL. But yeah, let us know which of these games you're most looking forward to, what you want to see next in the comments on Twitter, anywhere, #IGNIME, or email us at IGN_animeclub@IGN.com, or you can join the Facebook group. Yay, David, on the Facebook group.
Yes.
At
Yay.
facebook.com/groups/IGN Anime Club, and it's the official group. All right, I got it right. All right, so it's now 2016.
Oh, yes.
David's like, nah,
It's official. Happy New Year.
Yeah, no, what are you talking about?